final.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's exciting. That's what the Grand Prix is all about. The best fighters around the world are here, and they're here to put on a show. So it's a very exciting time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we go. This little. It's always fascinating to see this little angle here, because sometimes you get opponents who eyeball you and try and put you off and give you the hard stare, and sometimes... Are you a hard stare man at the start? I bet you are.
Everyone has their own way to deal with how they should be phasing the opponent, but I think that's what it's all about. Who's going to be mentally prepared for this fight?
Well, here we go.
Who actually wants to dominate this fight actually.
Started off nice and cagey here. And Gomez will be, of course, very aware that she lost in that world final, but what she'll have done is she'll have looked at the tape, she'll have looked at where she lost out, and sometimes it may be just 1 second of just losing concentration, isn't it, in this sport?
Yeah, absolutely. In this sport, it's split decision, and yeah, it's slightest of no concentration can just make you lose the game. So 3 rounds of total focus and trying to outsmart your opponent here. So I think Eva is going to be pretty much not looking to make the same mistake as she did at the World Championship. So
yeah, well, it's certainly quite tactical out there so far. There's no doubt that these two know each other well. HAMADA comes in and she gets a little point there. That was just a little forward kick.
Yeah.
These sensors are ultra sensitive, aren't they, sometimes, and you can just get the slightest touch and it will, as long as it hits the right part, you can get the point.
Absolutely. It's an electronic system. It's different to what it was before. So slightest touch can score, and even the hardest touch sometimes don't score. So depends actually where you do hit the body armor.
Yeah. Well, coming into the last 30 seconds, I was watching Jade Jones in her quarter-final. With 30 seconds to go in the first, she was beating the Korean Kim by 11 points to 1. So Jade wasn't messing around in the first. This is much more tactical.
Yeah.
And CALVO Gomez on the defense, that's where she's so good, isn't she? On the defense, she comes in after the attack. Absolutely.
She doesn't give away much points. She's really stable with her game plan.
Yeah,
and she's solid with that front leg. What does she use? Fencing it off an opponent and really trying to get into the distance. She's really clever with what she does. She just kinds of outsmart the opponent and just playing with the distance and just trying to get into her mind.
Yeah. Well, certainly a pretty tactical first period. 1 apiece after 1 period, and I just wonder if that's CALVO Gomez. She's looking quite relaxed there. Coach is giving her some instruction. What sort of things go on in that corner, Mohammed? Is the coach saying, look, I've spotted this little move that she did, she's on that particular foot?
Absolutely, every single detail he'll be watching and telling her where the gaps is that she can probably score. So yeah, every single detail he'll be looking at to see what distance she needs to be in or what she needs to do in this second round. So it's very important at this stage to listen to what your coach is going to be telling you, because it could actually make a difference from losing to winning.
Well, you can see there on the highlights, the guy on the highlights reel has done a cracking job there, because he picked up 2 really positive attacks. Yeah. We didn't see a lot of that in that first period, but you saw that CALVO Gomez nearly got the headshot, and then you saw HAMADA also coming in. So
absolutely. Well, and these head guards are very sensitive, so the slightest touch to the head guard could actually give you that 3 points that you need.
Absolutely, they are. It is really the slightest touch. You will see. One of the things in the rules video that we didn't see is there's the yellow and red card system, which is as Kyungo, where basically you get 2 yellows equals a red equals a point to your opponent.
Yep.
And they can also have a video replay card. So if there's a touch on the face, obviously you can't have sensors on the face of the eyes.
Yep.
There's another point for HAMADA, just picking CALVO, almost playing CALVO Gomez at her own game here, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. They're both good with the front legs. So so it's about who can actually play with the distance here. I think Eva is probably trying to stab more to her body and look for that second shot. But I think HAMADA is more or less playing with the distance to break her timing, really.
Well, still plenty of time, only halfway through this bout. Assuming it's done in 3, of course. If they're tied after 3 periods, we go to a golden point. And if you saw it yesterday, we had a couple of those on golden points. CALVO Gomez just dominating the centre ring here, but HAMADA comfortable with that. And I think it's fair to say that Jade Jones possibly would rather face HAMADA. She certainly has had issues with CALVO Gomez over the years, but of late has beaten her a few times.
Yep.
And so far, HAMADA just having that 2-1 lead, quite defensive. She can't go out of the circle because that is an automatic Kyungo.
She's really good at what she's doing, playing with the distance and actually trying to engage her opponent, controlling the ring, and it's really good to see. This is the kind of stuff that actually you want to be seeing. Trying to outsmart your opponent, and she's doing it quite well with the front leg, moving around, making it think if she's coming or not, and it's really good to see from HAMADA.
And that's sometimes the difference, the beautiful difference you see with Taekwondo. You know, we're going to see a lot of different types of fights, and I think a lot of people who don't see Taekwondo and watching it for the first time are actually amazed as to the tactics that's involved in there. Sometimes you get two guys. I remember in where was it, Kazakhstan, seeing Damon Sampson and Steve Lopez absolutely go old style Taekwondo.
Absolutely.
No tactics whatsoever. They just kicked each other as many times as possible. And I think it was 13-11 at the very end of it all.
That's right. That's right. Damon is that type of player. He's very explosive. He likes to engage quite a lot, and yeah, he's full on, and he's kind of a different Taekwondo fighter than what we usually know, and it's really good to see the transition he's made and coming to the game and actually making it his own right now. So yeah, so it's very interesting to see.
It is, and good job on the highlights reel here again. We're just seeing some of the attacks as the athletes come together for the third and final time. And so far HAMADA, well, she's a little nod of appreciation between them. She's playing a very tight game, HAMADA here.
Yeah, absolutely, she's doing well with her front leg. Both trying to cancel each other out with the front leg, really. But HAMADA, I think she's been quite clever and spoiling everything that EVA throws at her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really clever from her. So as you can see, the EVA's coming with a front leg. She just pulls off or made the distance a little bit more longer. So it's really clever by her.
We know that CALVO Gomez, she has a lot of tools in her kit bag, and she can change her game very quickly. Oh, that's a great attempt from HAMADA for a head kick.
Absolutely, very flexible. So yeah, so she can easily go from body to head whenever she actually wants to.
Yeah.
And that could make the difference. So Eva needs to be careful.
Yeah.
In that distance there.
That's one of the biggest changes in Taekwondo in recent times, that you see these head kicks from really close range.
Yeah.
You think it's impossible, but because you only need the slightest touch.
Absolutely. With this head guard being sensitive, the smallest touch can go on the scoreboard. So yeah, so you can see a lot of people when they want to come in, they hesitate. So it's all part of the game, really.
Here we go. We're into the final minute now, and CALVO Gomez, you just sense that Cole's just starting to be wound up. She's definitely got it in her kit back. She can launch those attacks, and so far, and there's an attempt for a spin kick. Oh, she came in with a second kick and didn't score. HAMADA did. Oh my goodness, HAMADA's got a 2-point lead. Now she's going to try and keep away from CALVO Gomez. Nice little attempt there to push her out of court, but Gomez was wise to that. And into the last 30 seconds. These are big times now. And the world ranked #2 athlete could be going out here.
There we go.
And it doesn't go.
That's what she was looking for.
And here's the card.
There you go. That's what she was looking for. She was trying to get into that distance and flick to the face. She was looking for that for quite some time.
Yeah.
But I think the slight error that HAMADA made in letting her to get in. So let's see.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, the call is, now this is the interesting thing with the rules, which you may not appreciate. It has to be touching the face. If the foot is considered to touch the head guard, that's an invalid card.
That's right.
And so it has to actually be on the face.
Yeah.
And you can see that on the screens behind, you can actually see what the replay judges are looking at. And they're trying to make a judgment. We're going to see what our cameras have got. Oh, it's been given, it's a successful one. So here we go. Great super slow-mo. Here we go. Does it touch the face? Ooh, yes. And that is 3 points.
Just about.
Yeah, that was the slightest touch, but what a great replay. And 3 points for CALVO Gomez. Look at this. Can you believe it? And now she says, well, I'll take a Kingo. It's only a half point. It's not going to count for anything. She can just run away here. There's 1 second on the clock.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how the sport changes.
Yeah, she's it's just she made a mistake of allowing EVA to come into a distance, and EVA's really good with her head shots, and she stole the game from her.
Well, Eva Calvo Gomez was 3-1 down with seconds to go. The slightest touch on the face, and she walks away as winner. Just incredible. And a big hug there with her coach. And that's how the sport can work.
There you go. You just saw a game where HAMADA was controlling the match all the way through, and towards the end just lost concentration and gave the game away, really.
Well, here's some of the highlights from that particular bout. The world champion exits. The world number 2 progresses through. And it's quite funny, isn't it? In the first period, we were talking about that split second. There you have it.
There you have it. And that's what it's all about. You got to stay focused for 3 rounds right to the end. And if you don't, you can easily lose the game.
Yeah. Great replay. We saw it just a touch on the face. And that was enough to give Calvo Gomez the win, and she'll be waiting for the winner of our next match coming up, Jade Jones against Nikita Glasnovich, and they will be facing the winner. Here's I love these super slow-mo shots. You really get to see some of the effort that goes in, and I think that's the thing as a spectator. Sometimes, I'm sure you have these conversations socially.
Yeah.
They don't realise the amount of effort that goes into every particular move, and you're up against another big, strong guy. Yeah. There's the touch on the face, and you know you're putting in massive effort, and it's immovable force versus the immovable object, and you know you come away from a bout. You know, people might say it's only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Try doing it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think sometimes people look at Taekwondo, they see why they're standing around, why they're not fighting.